Friday night duels have arrived in Chapel Hill for one of the longest-standing rivalries in all of college wrestling. We welcome you inside Carmichael Arena, where tonight, third-ranked North Carolina State puts the nation's longest win streak on the line. Who better to do it against than their in-state rival North Carolina? The Tar Heels come in unbeaten, ranked 14th. 4 teams in this week's top 15, headlined by NC State. They look for their 8th consecutive win against the Tar Heels. Coleman Scott feels his bunch should be up there higher in the rankings. They will have a chance to prove it in just a short while. Good evening, Sean Kinney alongside Rock Harrison. Great to have you with us wherever that might be tonight. Rock, you pushed the rewind button to last year when these two teams met. It came down to the final bout at heavyweight. NC State prevailed, but what makes this year so interesting, you talk to both camps, they feel they are even stronger thanks to some heralded freshmen who have stepped up big this season.
UNC has freshman firepower with Julian Tagg at 125 and Max Shaw at 197 for UNC. But NC State counters with blue chipper 149-pounder Ed Scott and Isaac Trumbull at 197, who turned out to be the ACC Wrestler of the Week. The wrestling is going to be great tonight.
So we have freshmen, certainly, some freshman firepower, but there's a couple of familiar names at 141. It's a rematch of last year's ACC championship.
Tariq Wilson starts out on fire, but Zach Sherman chips away. And ladies and gentlemen, it came down to this scramble going back and forth. And Zach Sherman holds on to the ankle and secures the 141-pound ACC championship. Looking forward to winning.
So not only 141 could go either way, but you feel 74-97 could be swing matches as well.
At 174, you have 2 wrestlers who are qualifiers for the NCAAs. And at 197, Isaac Trumbull and Max Shaw, both coaches love their 97-pounders.
Trumbull fresh off that upset last Friday night against Pitt and Bonacorsi, so we'll see if he can make it 2 in a row, matched up against Shaw at 197. Pat Popolizio, what a job he has done. Year number 9 in Raleigh, 3 straight ACC regular season titles. Always entertaining to talk to. He has built enthusiasm around this program, and really he has made Raleigh one of the wrestling capitals in the South, trying to keep this torch lit bright on the road tonight in Chapel Hill. Equally impressive in the opposite corner. He might look calm now, but just watch him in a few moments. Coleman Scott, year number 6, the 2008 NCAA champion, wrestled for Oklahoma State. He has brought that winning mentality to Chapel Hill, a strong ACC championship a year ago. They were primed and ready to make some serious noise at the NCAAs prior to the cancellation because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Normally an electric atmosphere inside Carmichael. Each student athlete was allowed 2 spectators to enjoy the festivities as we kick off at 1:25, and not wasting any time, it's the true freshman Julian Tagg of North Carolina, Jacob Camacho, the defending ACC champion for NC State.
Now, for you wrestling fans, you would think that Jacob Camacho should come out and dominate this match, but these two wrestled in freestyle back in 2019 with Julian Tagg getting the win with a last-second exposure. So we may see on paper it looks like Camacho, but Julian Tagg is tough.
Tagg missed last week's duel with Duke, as did a number of his fellow starters. The Tar Heels without their starters at 25, 33, 49, 57, and heavyweight. Yet they were still able to handle Duke soundly. They have all those main guys back in the lineup tonight.
You see that Tagg has some length. And what Tagg is going to do is try to reach across for an ankle pick, what he's pretty good at. And in countering, Jacob Camacho is going to look for what's going to be called a front headlock, when you grab the arm and head and tuck it underneath the opponent's rib cage.
Camacho controlling the center, both wrestlers locked up forehead to forehead. Camacho, the reigning ACC champion, he was the most outstanding wrestler in Pittsburgh a year ago. Young man who has not lost. It's been a year since he tasted defeat. January 24th, 2020. He's rattled off 11 straight wins, including that run to ACC glory a year ago. shot
situation.
by Camacho.
Camacho is going to try and finish underneath or between the legs. What he's going to try to do is isolate one leg, but right now Julian Tagg is doing a good job of what's called scramble.
Tagg trying to hang on to the right leg of Camacho. It was Camacho's shot that started the scramble. Both wrestlers on the edge, and let's see if we get a stalemate. We do. So Julian Tagg passes really the first big test on that deep shot by the ACC champ.
Not only that, we all know by watching tape that Jacob Camacho likes to shoot to his opponent's right leg. Well scouted and well defended by Julian Tagg.
So they're going to work through a clock malfunction in this first period. Brett Majerson, Brian Murphy are officials tonight. A couple of officials with NCAA experience. Let's go back to that defense we just saw from Coleman Scott's young wrestler.
Great shot by Camacho, get his head to the outside, but what Camacho didn't do was finish quickly, and the longer it takes to finish, it becomes difficult to get a takedown.
Looks like the clock is straight, so we're inside a minute to go in this opening period. The one shot by Camacho, he's in on number 2. Waterfall position, Tagg comes over the top. Let's see if Camacho can split the legs and slide through that back door. Keep an eye on the clock though. Wolfpack corner wants 2, they'll get it. Camacho fires the opening salvo.
Important here that he ends this period on top. He did a good job finishing, learning from the first takedown, popped his head out, and now can he hold him down to stay with a 2-0 lead? Always important to stay on top to end a match or a period.
Camacho rides out the final few seconds as we go back to the only offense in that first period.
He isolated the left leg and he was pushing the other leg over top, and he swims his way through and secures both legs for a takedown. Pretty patient.
North Carolina defers. Camacho to start down. See what he can do underneath. Our first look at Tagg riding. Quick stand up into a brief tripod by Jacob Camacho.
Julian Tagg needs to continue to press forward to put the weight on the hands. But once Camacho stands up, he wants his weight on his feet, not on his hands.
Camacho with a quick turn switches to that double and drives Tagg down.
That was nice. He didn't break. He kept wrestling. He didn't say, I'm going to get my escape, step back, jump around a little bit. Soon as he was feeling the escape, he went in for a takedown, or what was called a reversal. Good chain wrestling. Did not break any action.
Camacho back in the top position. A reversal on that last sequence, so he's up 4-0. Riding on the right side of the body of Tagg.
Tagg's got to get his head up, because when your head is down, it appears to the official that you're not doing much, even though he might be. But right now, Jacob Camacho is doing a good job of working for his near fall.
Had that wing momentarily. Readjust his position on top. Drops back down to the waist. Solid ride by Jacob Camacho in this second period.
You know what, Sean? This is what Coach Papalizzi was talking about. He wants to make sure Camacho gets better on top, on riding, trying to create not just takedowns, but can he get exposures?
North Carolina State corner in the backdrop. You saw Adam Hall, the assistant, in his 6th year alongside Pat Papalizio, watching this young sophomore work his magic on the road. Over a minute of riding time in a commanding 4-0 lead.
Get that wrist! Get him wrestling out here. Hit him again!
So I tell you what, Jacob Camacho's gotten better, and he earned a stall call, and it was a second stall call, so now he has actually, it's a 5-0 lead, and that's just working. He is working. He's not just riding, floating around. He's trying to create opportunities for a fall.
Solid second period by Camacho, who really rediscovered his love of wrestling during his redshirt year. Last season, it was up and down at least the first part of the year. He really had to mentally regroup. Was focusing too much on results and not improvement. Actually went to a sports psychologist after the Southern scuffle, had a rough tournament at the scuffle, and that was a turning moment. He took a week away from the sport. With Papalizio's guidance, he has emerged as one of the front runners in the ACC.
This is where Camacho gets stronger and drives him across the mat. That was one side of the semicircle to the other side, and now he's looking for back points. He's almost there. Nice chain wrestling. As soon as he took him down, he put him on his back and now has the points for what's called a major decision.
He's got that Turk series worked. He has the full allotment of near fall. He'll get the 4 tacked on. As Rock talked about, the major decision is a bonus point for your team. A normal decision gives you 3 points. A major decision is 4 points for your team. Tech fall 5, and then a fall and an injury forfeit worth 6. So those bonus points on what is anticipated on being a tight duel will loom very large as we go deeper into the night. And just look at Camacho spring back into the center and that Wolfpack corner into it.
Oh, he's being a little bully at 125. He is tasting not just a win, but now can he get what's called a technical fall when he's leading or wins by 15 points or more?
Inside a minute to go, third and final period. Camacho sniffing some blood. He circles around for 2 more. He'll quickly cut him, and he is thinking technical fall right now as he works toward the edge. And Julian Tagg right now trying to find some gas and a moral victory for the Tar Heels to avoid that tech fall. Look, tons of time for Camacho to work.
I mean, Camacho is showing why he is one of the best 125-pounders in the country. He is just going. It was closer in the first period, and he starts to expand upon the lead.
Shot by Tagg, countered by Camacho. He'll get the 2. Camacho continues to go to work. Remember, he rode him the entire 2 minutes, so look for a turn here. See if he has one more trick up his sleeve, has that leg, that figure 4 locked up momentarily, still has that leg trapped. He's going to have time to get the count, and Camacho will get the 4 late.
I'm telling you, I am very impressed with Camacho again. He just stepped up and started the way he wanted to make it happen. The number 4 ranked wrestler started close, and he just opened it up, and what a great start for the Wolfpack with a tech fall by the number 4 ranked Jacob Camacho, driving him across the mat.
It's a busy Friday next week. We'll have our first men's lacrosse game of the season and a wrestling double-dip duel. How's that sound? First up, 3 o'clock Eastern, number 1 Duke hosts 5th-ranked Denver. And then it's to the mats inside. Friday night duels rolls on. First up, it's Duke and Virginia from Charlottesville at 6 Eastern. Then for the nightcap, it's a dandy. 3rd-ranked NC State travels to Blacksburg to battle number 8 Virginia Tech in what could decide the ACC Championship. It's all right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Early statement sent by North Carolina State. Jacob Camacho with a tech fall, 5-0 lead for the Wolfpack. And from one Danbury, Connecticut native to another, here comes Ryan Jack, the true freshman. Familiar last name. His older brother, Kevin Jack, was a 3-time All-American for the Wolfpack at 141. Matched up against Jamie Hernandez, the junior for North Carolina out of Aurora, Illinois.
Both of these guys have a good freestyle background as well. Haven't seen each other in folk style, though.
Quick shot by Hernandez, but Jack is able to avoid trouble. Jamie Hernandez, the ACC runner-up a year ago, NCAA qualifier. Really blossomed into this 33-pound division. He arrived at Chapel Hill initially thinking he was going to be a 41-pounder, but small for that weight last year, now has settled in nicely in what really is a loaded room for Coleman Scott at 133. Joe Heilman, part of that barrage of talent, plus the younger Tagg, Gabe Tagg. Jack in a scoring position. Let's see if he can finish trying to seal up that double on the edge. Doesn't have a lot of real estate. The whizzer, the hip lock defense being applied. And out of bounds they go. So a nice job there. A veteran move by Hernandez to avoid giving up the 2.
You know, even though Hernandez did fight it off, you got to give some confidence in Jack's mind, saying, I can get in. And even though he did not finish, he was in deep enough. Maybe if he had a little more mat, he may have. But just a little steps to get more confidence can certainly bring the gap in the confidence level of the freshman. So the official said that
the stop.
It was potentially dangerous because he saw that the hand was underneath the throat. While he wasn't choking him, it was potentially dangerous or a potential choke. So just out of precaution, the referee said, stop it and let's start fresh on our feet.
So, Rock, are you surprised with Popolizio's decision to put the freshman Jack out there over Jared Trombley, who has some experience?
Yes, I am. I expect to see Trombley. Trombley didn't wrestle at his best match last week, but prior to, Jack wrestled against Louis Hayes from Virginia and got dominated. So I guess it's just the feel of the coach. Coach looks at his wrestlers and just gets the feeling to say, I think this might be Jack's night. And right now he's wrestling competitive.
Popolizio has certainly built a pipeline up to the northeast. Jack, one of 2 Danbury natives in the starting lineup alongside Camacho. Those 2 were actually teammates at Danbury. There's been 4 commits since 2013 from Danbury as the stall call given to Jack. Next time that'll be a point. And out of bounds they go.
What a veteran wrestling by Hernandez. He kept snapping, taking half shots, not a full commit, but just to keep Jack off balance and earn the stall call. Really crafty wrestling right there.
First period will come to an end and a stalemate after 1. Going back to Danbury, 2013, it was Ryan Jack's older brother Kevin who started it. He was the first recruit from that area. Then Camacho followed. And then it was Ryan Jack and A.J. Kovacs, a freshman on the roster this year. They're anticipating big things from him in the future as well. Second period, it will be Hernandez in the top position.
This is where many times freshmen struggle, and that's what's called being underneath or mat wrestling. And when you have a veteran like Hernandez, can he keep him down? So what he's trying to do is not just keep him on the mat, but to wear him down.
Hey, keep working. Keep working,
Sean, you talk to any coach, a step.
Jack very close to getting 2 on the reversal. Let's see. Out of bounds they go, and did they give him the 2?
I'm not sure if they gave him a 2. Maybe he got a 1 for loss of control, but we're not seeing what happened. So it looks like he did not give him loss of control.
So it looks like an escape is the ruling. There's another question dealing with the clock as well. Scoreboard initially showed 2 with the reversal. They're going to get that straight, just the escape. So a 1-0 lead. Jack is able to get out from underneath. And now automatically he shoots in. What's he need to do to finish, Rock?
He needs to get his hips underneath him. Right now he's just using his arms. And your arms are not going to be strong. And what Hernandez is doing is what's called cutting the corner. And he did cut the corner to get the takedown. What Jack did not do was get his hips underneath him to bring in the leg.
Jamie Hernandez for the second time in this period, riding halfway through the second period. Jack trying to get up to a stand-up, and he is away, and we are tied at 2. See if Hernandez keeps the foot on the gas. He comes right back after the young freshman, takes an empty shot, countered by Jack, trying to keep that toe drag with the right leg, but out of bounds they go.
This is where wrestling IQ comes in, and Hernandez has a stall call. He's also been doing a good job in controlling the mat. And what Jack has to do is make sure that he is aware of where he is at all times, so there's not a push out where Hernandez might get another stall call.
It's been a busy start for Brian Murphy over by that clock here after the first couple of weights. A good one at 133. NC State behind the Tech fall with a 5-0 lead, but Jamie Hernandez trying to get some points back.
Sean, he is wearing on Jack's head. It may not show right now, but every time you just bang the head down, you may not go, your neck gets tired. And look at him. He's taking the real estate and driving Jack in there and banging the head. This is going to wear on Jack as the match gets older and older.
Working off that front headlock. Jack is able to slip out of it. Closing moments, a late shot, but we go to the third, tied at 2. All right, let's visit Key, starting with North Carolina as we march into the final 2 minutes. What do you think Jamie Hernandez needs to try to pull off in these closing minutes tonight?
Continue to move forward, not to reach, because Jack has long arms. He wants to make sure he continues to bang the head, keep the head down. And while he does that, make sure he does not give any opportunities for the freshman to sneak back in. Now, on the other hand, what Jack has to do is keep it where he can get a takedown or maybe work towards some type of, well, not now, but he now has to work for a takedown.
Saw the switch, but a quick pop out from Hernandez. He grabs the point, 3-2. Riding time not a factor in this third period, so it's a takedown match. Hernandez out of Aurora, Illinois. Oak Park River Forest High School, the Illinois connection. We'll watch Austin O'Connor. He's an Illinois native as well for UNC. Jack continues to shoot.
I tell you what, Hernandez is just doing enough. He's not committing, but he's just making sure that Jack is ready to respond to his motions. Jack has to control the elbow like he was doing earlier and get to a position where he can use his long arms to get 2 legs instead of 1.
Hernandez able to get the right side underhook, his right arm underneath the armpit of Jack. Jack backs out, buoys out of that position, back into the center. Again, the riding time in the left-hand corner, it's not a factor, it's not above a minute. As long as it stays under a minute, no point awarded at the end of the bout. So 3-2, Hernandez continues to lead.
And Sean, you can hear the NC State side saying, come on, commit. And that's what he has to do, is commit to a shot.
Jamie Hernandez, remember, has wrestled only 1 match this year. Keep an eye on that conditioning a little bit. Can he hang on with Jack? 3-2, North Carolina trying to get on the board. Jack takes a glance over at the clock. He knows it's now or never. The freshman on the hunt. Can he find any type of crack? Stall call hit. That's on Hernandez. That doesn't hurt him. And it will be Jamie Hernandez in North Carolina on the board with 3 points. Hernandez wins by decision. Wolfpack up 5-3 after 2 weights. Camacho with a tech fall for NC State. Hernandez with a decision for North Carolina after 2 weights. Wolfpack 5, Tar Heels 3, as we welcome you back to Carmichael in our featured matchup. It's 141. Tariq Wilson, 2-time ACC runner-up, matched up against Zach Sherman, 10th ranked in the country. 46 career wins, but you talk about a wrestler who has peaked over the last 12 months. It would be the redshirt junior out of the Florida Blair Academy area.
That's what you want as a coach. You want improvement. And Zach Sherman, after his 3rd place finish at last year's Midlands, he's showing that he is getting better, and he wants to break into the elites at 141. He can do that again against Tariq Wilson.
Sherman grew up in Florida, then went to the prestigious Blair Academy in New Jersey. 2-0 on this young season. He's put up some serious points. Tariq Wilson, always a quick starter. Pat Popolizio still waiting for a complete 7-minute match from Wilson, yet he's unbeaten this year. He simply found a way to win the tight matches so far with his 2 dual wins in conference, and he's in on a shot, pretty deep shot on Sherman, and Wilson goes up 2-0.
That is textbook Tariq Wilson. Jump out, grab a leg, one leg, two legs. Use your length to suck it in and get the takedown. He's got to keep the pressure so he gets a single, and then he just keeps great head position and goes from one leg to two legs with a trip. Good start.
Sherman close to getting away, and he is free, so nice job by Sherman underneath to get the quick point. 2-1, Tariq Wilson on top. Wilson, the three-time NCAA qualifier, twice at 133. Remember, he bumped up to 141 last season. Had that incredible run in 2018.
Sean, you see that little low? He just kind of bounces. He's waiting to see, does Tariq respect when he lowers his level? Because if he doesn't respect when he lowers his level, he's going to shoot just like that.
Ankle pick up into the single leg. Let's see if he shelves it, looks for the trip. He'll look for the ladder, trying to trip Wilson down. Tariq with those long limbs, though, he's tough to gather in. Look at the patience by Sherman.
So what Tariq has to do is fight hands, reach towards the hands. And what Sherman has to do, as you said, be patient and bring him back to the center, not to the edge. And you can see he's bringing him back.
Great patience, shelving, trip, 2. Textbook by Zach Sherman.
It didn't start there. It started with him lowering his level, and then when he got to the single, he said, I'm going to take my time and not rush it and get the takedown. That takedown wasn't on the edge of the match. That takedown started when Zach Sherman was lowering his level and just seeing if Tariq was going to lower his level with him.
Early offense in this one, each athlete with a takedown. 2 minutes into this opening period, 3-2 Sherman. Couple of mat returns by redshirt junior, and out of bounds they go, back into the center. Sherman has taken an unusual path. He was a 2-time NCAA qualifier with last year's strong run, but it was back in 2018. He qualified for nationals as a true freshman. Went 1-2 that year at the NCAAs. He and Clay Lout were the only 2 Tar Heels, the only 2 freshmen not to redshirt in that 2017-18 campaign. Wilson gets the point. We're tied at 3.
Now, Wilson has to lower his level when Zach Sherman lowers his level. If not, Zach Sherman's going to shoot when he lowers his level. You know what, Sean? I know it's early, but I feel like Zach Sherman is just feeling more confident. He said, I gave up the early takedown, but you know what? I'm starting to dictate the match how I expect to go at. Now, you see, Wilson is starting to respond in respect to when he lowers his level.
A good one brewing as expected at 141. Early takedown by Wilson. Sherman was able to get the equalizer late in the period. Will be Sherman to start in the top position, the riding position, period 2. Every time we talk to Coleman Scott, he is so high on Zach Sherman. Austin O'Connor rightfully gets a lot of the attention, but Scott just has realized the potential and has enjoyed the path that Sherman has really took to success, that he has discovered and has become a key anchor in the center of this Tar Heel lineup. Sherman able to return Wilson back. Tariq springing right back up.
Let me tell you, Tariq Wilson is battle tested. He's already had 2 tough matches. One match against Brian Courtney, that was a 1-point win by Tariq Wilson a couple of weeks ago, and then last week an overtime win. So he's not going to panic. He's going to say, okay, I'm in a tough match, but I've been in tough matches already.
Yeah, you mentioned the duel with McCormick. He scored a reversal in the closing moments of that match. Last week, we had it on Friday Night Duels. He gives up the late headlock to Matthews. All the momentum in the pit corner, yet he prevails in overtime. So Wilson, as you talked about, he's been in these positions. Sherman continues to ride successfully. Oh, now Wilson sees a little bit of an opening and he's away. And that's big because Sherman did not quite get to that minute of riding time.
Wilson needs to attack. He hasn't really attacked since that first flurry where he got his takedown. And at this point, he needs to create some more offense.
Both coaches talked about it early on in their careers. It was Sherman who was the hunter. Wilson was the hunted. It was Sherman trying to chase down Tariq, and the roles have kind of flipped following last year's action in Pittsburgh in the ACC championship.
I'm telling you, from an optics standpoint, it just looks good. Good shot. Even if it wasn't a shot to get a takedown, it keeps the referees off your back. Because right now it looks like Zach Sherman is the more aggressive, but that little half shot right there helps to keep the referees off of you.
Wilson picking up the pace a little bit. Winding down the second period. Sherman comes lunging at him toward the edge. Not a lot of position to score. And back into the center with 9 seconds to go. And a 4-3 Tariq Wilson lead. Well, can we say a little deja vu? It was a point that separated these two for an ACC title. We marched to the third, and it's a point separating the two tonight.
This is awesome. The match that we said was a critical match, a match to watch. It is living up to expectations. 4-3 Tariq Wilson, the All-American. ACC champion Zach Sherman on bottom. 4-3. Let's see what happens.
Ball right applied momentarily by Wilson. Sherman into a stand-up. Tariq, those arms wrapped around him, trying to return him back to the match. Sherman at the same time inching his way and back into the center for a fresh start.
So I don't know what's going through Wilson's mind, but he's probably figuring out, let me get a feel. Can I ride him out this period, or do I let him go? I'm sure he's saying I'm going to keep him down as long as I can.
Remember, riding time is not a factor. Sherman has that right now, but it's dwindling down as he tries to. Granby comes out, nearly had an opportunity. He'll get the one on the roll. Sherman ties it up on a nice roll that caught Wilson. Nearly had the two.
Here we go.
You got 33 riding time.
4-4. Zach Sherman starts to hit what's called a Granby when he rolls through. And he creates enough separation to get the one. And so now, 4-4, third period. And Zach Sherman went for a double, ended up a single. Here we go back to the same position, almost exactly where we were in the second period, in the first period.
Trying to limp it. Look for the seal of the second leg. Still has it. Wilson's able to break it free, but then Sherman comes right back to the waist, and 2 is awarded. Sherman gets the 2 and a 6-4 lead.
6-4, and this is where we have to figure out, does Zach Sherman have the mental toughness? Same scenario, he was very patient with the single, got around the hips, did a little trip, got the 2. Here we are, 6-4, 1 minute, 8 seconds left. Partner, we're about to hear some fireworks and see some fireworks for his last minute or so.
A real explosive start underneath from Wilson, but he is away. So now it becomes a takedown match if you're Tariq Wilson. Sherman with a 6-5 lead for UNC. Pivotal match at 141.
This is what coaches go through every match. You're either up by 1 or down by 1, and you have short time. We need to see some offense by Wilson or some great defense by Zach Sherman.
What do you feel Wilson's going to go to? Your one go-to, you know it's a short time situation approaching. What do you feel his strength is to try to find that takedown?
There's the double. Straight
right on top. He gets the 2 and drives Sherman to his back. Oh, Tariq Wilson these 3 duels, the closer. He finds a way to close matches. Unbelievable.
He put his head right in the sternum of Zach Sherman and drove him, not just drove him, put him on his back. That's an All-American. That's an All-American performance right there. Ooh.
Take the softball. Shoot a double right here on the whistle. Double 5. Shoot a double.
Wow. Wow.
Caution given to Sherman. You can just see the frustration on his face and his reaction after giving up that straight-on double.
Hold for a second.
And for the 3rd straight weekend, unbelievable, Tariq Wilson has figured out a way to score some late offense.
That's the
And
second
here comes
caution.
some of that rivalry, Rock, now. You can just see these two. It's building. Competitive nature with these 2 ranked wrestlers. Wilson in at number 11 in this week's poll, Sherman at number 9. Wilson will simply latch on to the lower leg, and Tariq Wilson has done it. It was Sherman last year in the ACC final, but Tariq Wilson, he just finds a way for the 3rd straight weekend. Late offense. And the 2-time ACC runner-up says 2021 might be my year to shine. Saturday, we'll have a big college basketball slate. First up, Miami and Wake Forest tip us off at 2 Eastern, followed by number 16 Florida State and Georgia Tech at 4 Eastern. And then with the sun setting in the Commonwealth, 8th-ranked Virginia battles number 20 Virginia Tech. And to cap off a busy day, it's Pitt hosting Notre Dame at 8 Eastern. Catch all 4 games on the ESPN app if you're out and about. Well, if you were out and about here in the last 15 minutes, we're sorry. You just missed one whale of a match at 141, as it was Tariq Wilson with some late offense, able to pick up the 2nd Wolfpack win of the night. We move to 149. The top-ranked wrestler in the land, Austin O'Connor, the redshirt junior for North Carolina, battling the true freshman Ed Scott for NC State. Scott comes in 3-2. This is only O'Connor's 2nd match. Remember, North Carolina had a couple of duels postponed at the last second. So they are looking at a situation. Normally, you have all the preseason tourneys before you jump into the conference duel. O'Connor in midseason form, able to get the quick 2 for the Tar Heels.
It all started with the hand fighting. As soon as he caught the left elbow of Ed Scott, he reached over and drove him through. It just came from hand fighting. Hand fighting is when you're just trying to grab wrists and get positioning. And there's not too many people that are better than Austin O'Connor in the entire nation.
O'Connor, in fact, coming into this Friday night duel, he has only been on the mat for 47 seconds this year because he pinned his opening night opponent. He was not in singlet last week in the duel against Duke. 2-0 lead for the ACC champ a year ago. He was a runner-up 2 years ago, the 2-time NCAA qualifier.
No sit-outs. Stand up. Get to a tripod.
We can't overemphasize how tough it is for the transition from high school to college on the mat. Mat wrestling is when they're on the mat right now. And just like that, we got some near fall points by the number 1 ranked Austin O'Connor trying to get back on top. This might be it. It's looking tight.
Use that suck back. He has Scott in some trouble, but Ed Scott, the freshman from Du Bois, Pennsylvania, able to get back to his base. 4 near fall points, and it's O'Connor trying to get the momentum back for UNC.
You said it, momentum. Who else would you want to follow with just a heartbreaking loss with the number 1 ranked wrestler in the nation, who is just an animal?
I thought Coleman Scott paid him one of the best compliments that you could hear as a coach to an athlete. He said he's one of the smartest wrestlers that I have ever been around and coached. And you look at Coleman Scott's career. Stall warning underneath with Scott. Just right now, he just can't get out. The dominating ride from a wrestler who has visions of bringing North Carolina a national championship this year.
There was no loss of control there. Head referee Fred Majerison said, no, you were still in what's called the front headlock. So you say, he was out of control, he was on his feet? No. The referee said that Austin O'Connor was still in control, and quite frankly, Ed Scott didn't have the ability to intelligently defend himself.
Take a look at the riding time. 2 minutes, 23 seconds in the first period.
He went and he lifted the bar and he just bullied him over. A little chin back, suck back, and at this point, it was just a fight for Ed Scott to get off of his back.
Work for the next point, buddy. Nothing to lose it.
O'Connor in on another shot, in a position to get the 2. He does. 8-0. O'Connor out in front. Obviously a situation he's thinking bonus points all the way.
So this is what's happening in Ed Scott's mind. He's saying that every time I reach and grab him, we have Austin O'Connor shooting. So Austin O'Connor is trying to figure out Ed. So when Ed Scott reaches, there's offense for Austin O'Connor.
Questions around Chapel Hill. Will Austin O'Connor be UNC's first national champ since 1995? You look back at the Tar Heel history. C.D. Mock won it in '82. Oh, look at the power of O'Connor. Hold that thought as O'Connor's in another scoring situation. He'll get the 2.
Oh, that could have been problems. Good fight by Ed Scott, but as soon as Ed shot, he didn't get his hips underneath him. And since his hips weren't underneath him, he was extended. And so he popped his hips in and got a takedown.
Blood timeout. This gives us a chance to revisit the national champions in the past as you start thinking Austin O'Connor, C.D. Mock, the former Tar Heel head coach. He won it in '82. Then you had Rob Cole winning it at 158 back in '88. And the great T.J. Jaworski, the 3-time champ for North Carolina, 3 consecutive years in '93, '94, and '95. So when you look at the field, Sammy Sasso, Brock Mahler of Missouri, it's one that I'm confident O'Connor can get the job done at 49 come St. Louis in March.
The top 4 guys, they're good. I mean, everybody's good this time. I'm talking, these guys are just really good, and they like to pin.
So when you look at the styles of those top 5, where's O'Connor differ a little bit? What separates him? What's he bring to the table?
His hands are heavy. When I say heavy hands, they're like cinder blocks. He bangs, 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 and it wears people down. But he just doesn't hand fight. He has offense. So he'll use the hand fight to create offense.
O'Connor came in for another shot. Scott does a pretty good job countering that. And a stalemate.
And one of the
tough go for Ed Scott.
One of the things that you're seeing as a team with UNC is that they lower their levels, just like their coach would do when he wrestled at Oklahoma State. They lower their levels to see how their opponent responds. And you saw that with Zach Sherman. You saw that with Jamie Hernandez. You're seeing that with Austin O'Connor. They lower their hips and just kind of read to see what happens.
O'Connor's been a big reason for Coleman Scott's surge in North Carolina back into prominence in wrestling. The Tar Heels placed in the top 20, the NCAAs the past 2 seasons. Brought that winning mentality when you bring in talent and continue to develop it like he has with O'Connor. It's easy to build momentum.
You know where he's going here. Stand up. Stand up. 1 and 2. Hips out. Hips out. Hips out.
O'Connor continues to stretch the action, an 8-point lead, Rock. And you start thinking bonus points a little bit. He's got the major decision. He has a mountain of riding time. Can he get a couple of turns and get back into that tech fall area like we saw Camacho do at 125?
I'm sure when we talked to Coach Coleman Scott earlier this week, he said Austin O'Connor, he'd been setting it up for a little time. Every time that Ed Scott would go for a sit out, he would go to the front and look for a pancake or a headlock.
Focus. Moving forward. Bury your head. Find that nose.
Keep your elbow down. Wrestle.
Stop.
At this point, we're trying to figure out with Ed Scott, you know, he is getting dominated by the top-ranked wrestler in the land. But this is what you learn as a freshman. You say, okay, I'm getting beat, but can I do enough for my team? Can I get a takedown to perhaps take away the bonus points? And every point counts in college wrestling. So at this point, the coach is saying, look, keep wrestling. And that's all you want from your athletes. Give me effort. And we're going to see if the freshman is going to give it all he has.
You know, I loved our talk with Pat Popolizio. You posed the question. You said, Coach, you know, how's Ed Scott going to prepare for these heavy hands that he's going to be battered with from Austin O'Connor? And Popolizio, with that Raleigh grin, just kind of said, we have a pretty good hand fighter at 57 in Mr. Hidley.
Feet are moving. No, inside.
Austin O'Connor taking care of business. Has that 7-point lead. Again, he has the riding point lock, so he's looking at a major decision, which will pull the Tar Heels within a point.
Yes, squeeze.
Scott trying to figure out a way maybe to get a takedown and get that point back for NC State. Tougher said than done, though. Matched up against Austin O'Connor.
20. Nothing crazy. You're okay.
It's illegal. Watch your ankle. Take it.
Just snap down. You're good.
Getting off that 2-on-1, the Russian tie. Scott unable to get any offense. And Austin O'Connor, the All-American from a couple of years ago. He placed third at Nationals in 2019. Looking to go even further in 2021.
Great job with just reaching over, being dominant, looking for a fall. What a way to come back after a letdown at 141. The #1 ranked wrestler in the nation, Austin O'Connor, gets the UNC back to where they want to be.
We go from one national championship contender to another. It's 157. Hayden Hidley, he is perfect against ACC opponents. 25-0 in his career, looking to become the first ever four-time All-American for the Wolfpack. Go back to that 2018 season. He was runner-up to Jason Nolf. Entered that year as the #1 seed. Placed fourth in 2019. Followed up with last year's All-American honor following the COVID-19 pandemic. And Hayden Hidley ready to go to work. Josh McClure, the redshirt senior, standing there for North Carolina. And Rock, no surprise, after 4 weights, we knew this was going to be tight, but this is a stretch now where the Wolfpack will want to try to get some separation.
I don't know if you all at home can hear that. Hayden Hidley is coming with the hard clubs. You can hear him banging on the headgear of McClure. But yes, this is what we expected. Two teams that are rivals, that don't really care for each other. Going back and forth, wrestling is like momentum. The pendulum is swinging to one side to another side.
Hidley, the 3-time ACC champion. It has been his conference, complete domination. Just the 11th wrestler in Wolfpack history to win 3 ACC titles. Big underhooks, that's what you're going to get from the Hidley brothers. Hayden using it as a steering wheel, just maneuvering McClure where he wants. Drops down, McClure tried to catch him, and McClure will pop around for 2. So the redshirt senior, who Coleman Scott said is going to wrestle as if I have nothing to lose, catches Hidley.
Good job. You know, and he wants to get out, and not just get out to score, but to show that I can wrestle with you. Good wrestling there. He was pushing against the underhook. As soon as he went for the underhook, Hayden Hidley was extended just a little bit. And what McClure did, he popped his hips in, spun around to get control, and immediately went to the boots, or what we call double legs.
Bit too quick on the stand-up. Josh McClure, he's a 5th-year senior. He was an NCAA qualifier in 2019. He split time last year with AC Headley. It was Headley who represented the Tar Heels at the ACC championship a season ago. So McClure entered this 5th year with some extra fire in the belly.
2 weeks ago, Hayden Hiley wrestled Justin McCoy against Virginia. He gave up the first takedown. Ended up winning, but it was a tighter match than what people had expected. Let's see if McClure can do the same thing. Early takedown and keep the pressure on Hayden Hiley.
I think when you look at McClure, this is a big body at 57. He talked about his strength and conditioning through the COVID times, and he's as big as he's ever been. He says his body's back to 100%. He fought some injuries, in particular during that 2019 season where he had the injury default out of the ACCs. Said he's fresh, he's healthy, and ready to go. Shot by Hiley, he's in low, switches to the double, and he takes the lead for the first time.
He went to a single, and as McClure fed him hips, he moved his head from one side of the single to the other side and got the double. It's always good when you just continue to wrestle. You don't wait to see what is the guy going to do. I'm going to shoot one leg, and I'm going to grab two legs.
Has the wrist, trying to cinch up a wing, maybe get a late turn with that wrist trap. McClure barreling toward that belly button, and Hiley's able to get the turn and the count.
Arm bar tilt, great wrestling by the All-American. He didn't say, I'm just going to hold on to the end of the period. He had it, and he got the back points. Opened this match up.
Knew exactly how much time he had. Worked it on top like he has throughout the years in his career against ACC foes, and McClure paid the price.
7 unanswered.
Yeah, he can do it in bunches. That time they're going to give the caution to McClure. If you're new to wrestling, you are given a couple of cautions before the third one cost you a point. Times you'll see them issued on a start from the referee position. 7-2, Hiley with the 5-point lead. McClure had that leg in for a moment. Now a switch and an escape. Hiley's away.
That was textbook. He went, he isolated the one arm, and then he cut through, and now he's going back to the attack. Hayden Hiley right back in there.
McClure gives up on the whizzer, and he gives up on the 2, and Hiley with a 10-2 commanding lead.
This is why he's the leader of the Wolfpack. Not rattled, gave up the first takedown, has now scored 10 unanswered. He's getting to be as complete as he can be. Solid on his feet, solid on top, knows the fundamentals to get out on bottom. And what McClure has to do is lift his head off the mat, because when your head is on the mat, it doesn't look good. He's trying to step with roll through tilt and going right back to the arm bar. He's working hard on top.
McClure able to free up the right arm for a moment. Boy, Hiley, he just continues to work. Relentless in the righting position. And this will grind at you if you're underneath this type of ride.
I wouldn't be surprised if the official calls for a stall, and he sure did.
I was thinking right along those same lines. And if you're McClure, you're just going, come on, I can't do much.
That was
as
the
leg
stall call.
11-2, Hiley with the point, stalling.
Sean, can't you hear the NC State fans? And when I say the fans, the teammates, they're just yelling, come on, keep going. That's why wrestling's not an individual sport, it's a team sport. Look at them clapping.
Don't forget, ACC Women's Hoops better than ever. Tipping us off Sunday, it's Notre Dame and Syracuse at 11 o'clock Eastern. Then number 2 at 2 o'clock, Clemson and Wake Forest. And then we cap off the day, Virginia Tech hosting North Carolina. That game in Blacksburg, it's all right here. The ACC Network and the ESPN app.
Get your hands where you want them. Get your hands where you want them.
Josh McClure had the first 2. 11 unanswered by Hiley. And he's in deep again. And in this position before, Hiley's been able to finish every time.
Great job. Control the knee. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Keep loosing.
Hiley will try to slip that left arm free. He does. And another takedown constant offense from the redshirt senior.
He is working. He's working. He is working. And McClure isn't doing much from bottom right now. But what can you do when a guy is putting that much pressure, isolating the right side, looking for another?
One,
kept pressing.
no change, down.
He was close to cinching up that armbar tilt again, but rolling on through was Josh McClure. So Rock, let me pose this question to you. You look at North Carolina State, and they had that great 2016 recruiting class, the top recruiting class in the country. Popolizio has strung together some really good recruiting classes, and Hidley, part of these redshirt seniors, as you see him work his magic again. What do you think the decision process will be for a lot of these seniors with the eligibility rule coming into play this year, meaning that in essence you're given a free year of competition?
I think it depends on a few things. One, it's health. Can your body hold up? Some of these guys have been wrestling for 15, almost 20 years. And can you go through it? Can your body continue to stay the weight class that you've been wrestling for maybe 5 years and do it for another 6 years? So those are things that you want to consider. Or do you have an opportunity to win a national championship either as an individual or as a team? I would assume Hayden Hidley wants to come back.
You know, and for guys like Hidley, who has extensive freestyle and potential for a world and Olympic gold in his future, that international wrestling becomes a key cog in that thought process as well.
Certainly, certainly. But you can do more by just wrestling. So at this point, it's 19-5. At this point, Hayden Hidley has enough for what's called riding time. So if he keeps his opponent down and secures the riding time, he will be up 20-5, which will be considered a technical fall. So it's pretty important that Hayden Hidley keeps Josh McClure down for these last 17 seconds.
Switch attempt by McClure, trying to use that height. And he is trying to come over the top, and
we had a stall call. The official said that Hayden Hidley went to the leg and did not try to work his way up, but it doesn't matter. He's got 6 seconds to keep him down and to try and secure a tech fall.
Hidley maintains, and Hidley scores the second tech fall win of the night, and the flex. That's a familiar sight for opponents in the ACC. He remains perfect against opponents from this conference. 26-0, pure domination from Hayden Hidley. Saturday, we'll have a big college basketball slate. Miami and Wake Forest tip us off at 2 Eastern, followed by number 16 Florida State and Georgia Tech at 4 Eastern. Then as the sun sets in the Commonwealth and another chair gets replaced in Rock's house, number 8 Virginia takes on number 20 Virginia Tech. And finally, Pitt hosts Notre Dame at 8 Eastern. Catch all these games on the ESPN app if you're out and about. What is that, chair number 2 in 2 weeks? I mean, those swivel chairs can't take that, buddy.
Yeah, my wife might put me out again.
You know, every Saturday morning last year, I'd wake up with a huge bruise on my right arm because Rock was just pounding away throughout the course of the broadcast. Only you. All right, 165. This is a pivotal match for UNC. Kennedy Monday, the redshirt senior. Thomas Bullard, ranked 14th, the redshirt senior. He looked good last week. Snapped a brief 2-match losing skid. Monday, very excited for his potential and his final go-around. The senior from Arlington, Texas, and he has all the tools, Rock. He is offense, and he had that on display at times. The big thing with Monday has been the big C word, consistency.
Absolutely right, which is completely opposite of Thomas Bullard, who was just always consistent. You know exactly what he's going to get. He's straightforward. He's just going to give you a nice, gritty, tough match. So it's just like he's just plain vanilla. You know he's going to be forward, go at him, but it's like a very good vanilla.
Yeah, two contrasting styles. Monday, who is known for his wrestling on his feet, able to score the big moves. Explosive, athletic.
Watch your ankles. Watch your ankles. Left hand pull.
If it stays like this plays into Bullard's wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
Just a grind it, slow it down in your face. And what Monday has to do is what he did for the first 30 seconds. Quick in and out, shot, move, just get in and out. Keep Bullard moving.
We'll see Monday change levels frequently, start high, pop down low. That's his game, that's his MO. These tie-ups though, Bullard wanting to slow it down, those heavy hands, the collar ties. Monday wants to disengage.
Monday does not want to be in this type of situation with Bullard. Bullard likes to hold on and drag and wear you down. And what Monday wants to do is separate and create offense from space and his speed. Can't you hear it? You hear the NC State fans and their team saying, stay on him, right in his face.
Well, more than 2 minutes into this first period, no score. Couple of ranked wrestlers in a matchup at 165. NC State with a 6-point team lead, powered by a couple of tech fall wins. And their leaders Camacho and Hayden Hidley. Couple of wins for UNC, a bonus point victory by their top-ranked wrestler, but it's Popolizio's Wolfpack leading by 6. Shot that's caught by Bullard. Looked like he was trying to counter, but Monday was able to back out.
Sean, this is exactly what NC State wanted. They hold off the explosive Monday, and now let's see how he reacts on the mat against Bullard, where Bullard believes he is the stronger wrestler on the mat.
Monday will defer. Be his choice in the third period, and Bullard automatically goes down. Thomas Bullard was banged up earlier in this season, but he's back to full health. He broke that 2-match losing skid last week, knocking off the ACC champion Jake Winsell of Pitt, and he is away quickly in this second period for a 1-0 lead.
Monday's taped up pretty good with his fingers and that left wrist. I don't know if he's nursing anything, but he has a lot of tape on him. Oh, this is tough. This is where Bullard wants to be. Good defense.
With those double overs, he was thinking maybe a throw. Monday, back into the center we go. 1-0. Pace picking up a little bit, which should favor the redshirt senior in the white singlet for UNC.
I can see the chippiness in this match. Two guys that have a lot of pride, and then they're representing their teams. Oh, they are not liking each other.
Right hand snap! Right hand snap!
It really has been a roller coaster of emotions for Kennedy Monday over the past 2.5, 3 years. Remember, this is an athlete as good as they come, but he had that disappointing ACC championship last year in Pittsburgh. He went 0-2. It was kind of a weird off-season for him. He actually entered the transfer portal for a short amount of time. We asked Coleman Scott about that, and he said it gave him some time to visit with him. Of course, his father, Kenny, as you see Monday come in straight on, barreling his way through. No points awarded yet. Bullard in a scramble trying to pop out. He's close to coming through that back door, but Monday still has that leg.
Watch his back! Watch it! All right, now come
Get high! You'll win this! Get high! Keep that tight and get high!
Who will come out on top? Pivotal scramble. Monday still with the leg. No points awarded yet. Oh, what action. Bullard somehow able to fend off this 2. Down to 5 seconds. Bullard rolling his way. And we go to the third, no points. Holy smokes. Thomas Bullard, not too many can fend that off.
Speechless. I mean, he gets a great double, and immediately, what does he do? Bullard goes to leg and tries to roll through, and for the next 35, 40 seconds, they're just a dogfight to get position. Who's going to get height? Who's going to not concede the takedown? This was just excellent, high-class, all-American type of wrestling there. I was speechless for the last 35 seconds.
All right, now it is hammer time if you're NC State. The Bullard twins on top. They are complete wrecking balls there. Now, let's see what Monday can do from underneath. Bullard in his strength position, riding.
He wants to pull the leg away from him. But what Kennedy Monday is doing, he's bringing the leg to him. That is just bringing it tighter for Bullard. So when the leg comes in, you want to push the leg away from you, not to you.
Trying to stick his left leg in.
This is a tough ride.
It is.
Here.
He just smothers you, doesn't he? I mean, it is amazing what the boulders can do on the top. And you know it's coming.
Yeah, that is, I tell you, it's just this is grittiness. He says, I'm only up by 1 point, but I'm going to make it painful for Kennedy Monday.
That's probably the best thing that could happen if you're Monday underneath. You get a restart in the center.
Kennedy Monday has to beat him off the windshield. He cannot put his head down or try to put his elbows in. He's got to stand up. And if he doesn't stand up, he's got to get those elbows right to the knees to block the legs. But whatever he does, it's got to be quick.
Slowly up into a stand-up. Leg trying to be brought in. Brings Bullard back. Monday in a possible position if he can clear that head. What's he need to do to position this, Rock?
I don't know. This is just wrestling. They're just going to figure it out.
And it's Bullard who figures it out and maintains the ride. He has that riding time. So if you're Monday, you're running out of options. And get that reversal, that would tie it. Bullard just lassoed off. All pretzeled up around Kennedy Monday, continuing to run.
So we have our first brick. Each team gets one brick. What is a brick? It's when the team can challenge and say a video review. And with the video review, the coach has to go over to the official and be explicit in what they're asking for. I'm not sure what they're looking for. Perhaps we can see if there was a loss of control. I think that might be it, that they're looking to see, was there a loss of control by Bullard?
Two veteran officials tonight, Fred Majerison and Brian Murphy. Take a look, Rock. What do you think? What is Coleman Scott's spot that he tosses the brick?
So at this point, he's trying to step over Monday and get his hips higher than Bullard. At this point, he's turning in. We're looking to see, was there a position where Bullard was not in control? They're thinking that maybe right there. It's hard to see on the other side. Does he have him in kind of a reverse half or half Nelson? But to me, it doesn't look like control was lost, and certainly control was not established by Kennedy Monday. So this is all about feel. And right here, in slow motion, it's a little different. But it's hard for me to really see that Kennedy Monday lost, or excuse me, gained control, or Thomas Bullard lost control. It's a judgment call. And my point of view, I think that Thomas Bullard maintained control. There wasn't any separation.
Yeah, excuse me, we want to remind the audience what you just saw is not what the officials are looking at. They have their own separate camera allotment here tonight, so they're going to be seeing it at different angles, and we're about to get the decision.
Okay, we have an illegal hold, 1 point red. There's going to be 56 seconds left on the clock. With 1:01 riding time, green will start in the down position.
Oh, an illegal hold. I missed it. I don't know what the illegal hold was. So there's an illegal hold, and we're trying to figure out when the illegal hold. They're trying to fix the clock back. So if it's an illegal hold, then it could be 1-1, and still Kennedy has to get out of bottom.
And they're asking, well, why do you reset the clock? You go from 18 seconds up to 56 because that's where the illegal hold took place. You go back to that moment.
I'm interested to see what the illegal hold was. So Monday had a situation where apparently and evidently Thomas Bullard had the illegal hold. For the fans at home, we could not hear what Coleman Scott asked for. We just assumed that is for loss of control.
So Bullard still has the riding time, even with the clock adjustment. The Granby by Monday, he was close to coming around the side. He'll get the one. So now, in essence, when you look at the riding time, we're tied at 2 in this third period. Oh boy, how a match can change. And what a challenge from the Carolina corner.
Great job out of Carolina corner. As I said before, you had to be specific in what you were asking for. And obviously, they saw something that we couldn't see from our camera angle.
Shot by Monday, a takedown wins it. Elevates the leg. Monday looking for the late 2, gets it for the Tar Heels. Kennedy Monday rallies, and the Tar Heels pick up a much-needed win, all set up by the challenge brick from Coleman Scott.
Wow. What a great call. The illegal hold, they said he came around, and it looks like they said he choked him. They said it was a choke right there. And at that point, the referee said that I agree with it, and here's a takedown. He saw that he was trying to roll him in the first period, caught him, had control for that moment, got the takedown, and now it looks like they're challenging the call. Great call by NC State. So they're saying, I don't think control was established there. It looked like he was in a roll. Was that enough to merit a takedown? And that's going to be a judgment call. So again, fans at home, we're watching this on slow motion. Real time, it's a judgment. Now, here we have the double. The double now switches to a single. In the first period, what Bullard did was trying to roll through. Now, also, in college wrestling, there is reaction time. There is no reaction time on the hand touch. So in this position, as he rolls through, it's reaction time, it's control established. Again,
the ball stands, 2 takedowns.
The call stands, 2 takedown. Fred McJerris said that we got the takedown for UNC. What a gutsy win by the senior, Kennedy Monday. We've got a great one here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all about keeping it in the family when you look at NC State and North Carolina. Let's start with UNC. 3 different sets of brothers, and we begin with Milton, Georgia with the Canes. And then we make the trip into the heart of Kansas, Clay and Cade Lout. And then how about a trip north, swing through the state of Ohio for Julian and Gabe Tagg. Meanwhile, for Pat Papalizio and the Wolfpack, they found the pipeline to Pennsylvania. The Hidleys and the Bullards. Aiden and Trent Hidley, Pennsylvania natives. The Bullards out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. And that's always a testament when you keep that family lineage keeping coming into those wrestling rooms like Scott and Papalizio have been able to do. So with Monday's win, things get really interesting as we bump up to 74. Wolfpack leading by 3. It's Daniel Bullard for NC State. Devin Kane back in the lineup, the redshirt senior, wrestling in just his 2nd match of the year. Rock, real quickly, as you see Bullard come in on a shot. We'll give our audience an explanation. We were able to find out more information from that match that just wrapped up with Monday and Thomas Boulder, but we'll let this sequence wrestle its way out. Scoring opportunity. Daniel Bullard trying to split those legs, comes around to the side, and the Wolfpack with a 2-0 lead.
So the official is giving his count, saying that Bullard dropped the leg and did not work up within 5 seconds. Therefore, it's an automatic stall call. So when you see the official waving their hands like a cutting motion, they're waving it to say you have 5 seconds, top guy or the guy advantage to move up. If not, it's what's called a stall call.
Daniel Bullard, an exceptional rider, just like Thomas, his twin brother. Sit out into a stand-up by Kane, then looking for that standing switch. He'll turn and face. Bullard still with control, and he's able to get back into that position. So a good ride, no surprise from Daniel Bullard behind the early takedown. Bullard with the leg in.
Those ears, good. Find the other stirrup. The other stirrup is good. The other stirrup is good. The other stirrup is good.
Kane's got to move. You can't just go to a tripod here. He's got to, what you want to try to do is scissor your own legs and then get one leg free.
Looking for that suck back possibility. Bullard not getting the count. Really punishing Kane underneath. These rides take a toll. A 2-0 lead. Daniel Bullard so dominant in this top position throughout his entire career. Three-time NCAA qualifier.
Tough ride. Tough ride by Bullard. This is what they do. They just, as again, you know exactly what you're going to get. You know they're going to be tough. You know they're going to be physical. And they're doing, and he's doing it right now to Devin Kane, the NCAA qualifier.
Hips on top. Hips on top.
Hips up. You're okay. Hips
On the
up.
arm.
Take his foot. Take his foot.
So, Sean, in these scenarios, you wonder, he may lift the leg up. He needs to swivel his hips. Good job.
Gets the reversal.
Now, he may have some back points. He's got to turn. He's got to lower his hips and crawl forward. Good first period. After getting dominated on top, what he does, he lifts that left leg and he steps over and hooks the leg to get a reversal by application. Way to keep fighting, Devin Kane.
Devin Kane, a redshirt senior, Milton, Georgia, Cambridge High School. He was an NCAA qualifier 2 years ago, made it to the round of 12. Won 4 matches as a wild card, seizing the opportunity. Took advantage of the situation, missed all of last year with an injury, utilized his redshirt, but back and healthy 2020 and 21.
They're in what's called a scramble position when no one has control. What Bullard's trying to do is trying to swim and face and get the reversal. Good job by Devin Kane. That's just body awareness. Being in a position over the past 5 years at NC State, knowing to be patient and to wrestle your match. Now at this point, Devin Kane has got to move.
Let's go.
Already over 2 minutes of riding time by Bullard. That damage inflicted on that first ride we saw in the opening period. So Kane back in that precarious situation underneath, trailing 4-2.
And look what Bullard is doing. He's putting his head on the back of the head of Devin Kane, just making him look tired. It's just a gritty, tough ride. He has the claw ride, and the claw ride opened it up for him to put the right leg in. This is textbook. This is not a stall here. This is just painful.
Bullard content with this position to wind down the second period. The reversal and then a mountain's worth of riding time has been the combination so far for Daniel Bullard. As we go to the third, going back though to the difference maker right now, Rock, was the reversal underneath.
Just stayed in there, and he continued to move from that single, cut the corner, got the 2 legs, and went right to his ride. I tell you what, I certainly miss being there because you get to hear some of the things that the coaches are saying, and the coaches are giving the referee some earful, saying there's no stall call, talking about the fact that Bullard has just been dominant on his on top. Right,
these two go at it on the scramble. Who's going to emerge on top? Bullard again, maintaining. Gets the 2, a 6-2 lead.
Look at it. He's on his feet. He's pushing forward. His head is on the back of the head of Devin Kane. This is how you show that you are in control of a match. Devin Kane is good. He is good. But Butler is just being that much more dominant on top.
Yeah, Kane's a guy we both watched, Rock, a couple of years ago. He worked his way deep into the field at the NCAAs. That was coming off a fourth-place finish at the ACC. So this is a guy that Coleman Scott wanted to get back in the lineup and be a key cog at 74. And it was a decision for the Tar Heels. They weighed both Clay Lout and Devin Kane. We weren't sure who they were going to go with at 74 and 84, but the decision was to put Kane here. So we'll see Lout coming up at 184 against Trent Heidler.
He's going back to the same thing he did to get the takedown. He's going to lift the ankle and try to pull it over his own head. But at this point, he's essentially up by 3 because he has riding time all secured.
Stop rolling! Stay right there! Stop rolling!
And you hear NC State telling Bullet, stop rolling. You've got the match. Wrestling IQ, nothing foolish. Hang out. And he's done that. Just a nice win. Partner, they're flopping. It's UNC wins, NC State wins, and NC State comes up with another win. A nice, tough, gutsy, typical Daniel Bullard win. We got a good one.
ACC women's hoops better than ever. Tipping us off Sunday, it's Notre Dame and Syracuse at 11 a.m. Eastern. Then at 2, Clemson takes on Wake Forest, and we cap off the day with Virginia Tech hosting North Carolina in Blacksburg. It's all right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Great to have you with us. Friday night duels from Chapel Hill. Sean Kinney alongside Rock Harrison as we move up to 184. Clay Lout making his season debut. He was the ACC champion a year ago, but that was at 174 pounds. He's bumped up to 184. Standing in his way, 4th-ranked Trent Heidley, the ACC runner-up from a year ago. Heidley losing to Hunter Boland, and you hear those big clubs. Right on cue, Rock, we were just talking during the commercial break. You can just sense the rivalry with these two teams when they gather in the center ring. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Both of these guys like underhooks, and they both like underhooks to the right side of the body.
Take ground. Make them wrestle here.
Loud has a lot of Greco-Roman wrestling in his background. Greco-Roman all upper body and throw. So you hear Rock talk about the underhooks. That's a big weapon in that style of wrestling.
Right hand's coming high. Feel it.
What do you think of Lout moving up to 84? Saw the graphic, the ACC champion from a year ago, and Coleman Scott with some options. It's a good problem to have with Kane and Lout. Really, the Kane brothers and Lout all factored in.
You know, when coaches make these decisions, they see something. They see something in the room. They may notice something in the weigh-ins. It's sometimes just a feel. It's just a gut feel. And apparently, Coach Scott feels that Loud presents a good option for them at 84, even though he's more of a 74-pounder.
Right arm underhook, digging hard for Heidler. Loud able to clear it away, and the two make their way back into the center. Halfway through the first period, no score. NC State leading by 6, 7 of 10 matches in the books tonight.
I like to see Lout try to force his underhook. He has a good underhook as well. So at this point, even though no action is really occurring, it appears that Heidley is the aggressor. Meaning that I'm showing the official that, hey, official, I'm the one, even though I haven't scored, I am the one that's going at it. And he earned the stall call. So Lout has a stall call against him because, again, showing the positioning and the aggressiveness of Trent Heidley.
Left hand's gonna pull his head under.
We saw a little bit of the diversity that Hidley's been working on last week in his matchup with Harvey Pitt. As he's stepping off the mat, that'll be a point for Hidley. Another stall call on Loud, so Hidley with a 1-0 lead. He went from that under into a single, and that certainly had Pat Popolizio and the staff excited, trying to add more weapons already to a pretty stocked arsenal.
You can post here.
Left hand's got to do more work. Left hand's got to work more. Left hand's got to work more. Left hand's got to work.
You can see that.
Go Rock. You see Loud trying to stick that underhook in on that left side.
I feel like he's a little hesitant because he doesn't want to be underneath Trent Hidley. And I can understand. Trent Hidley, you can see that he looks bigger.
184 pounds, Trent Hidley stacking up with some of the best. Miles Amin, Hunter Bolin, who beat Hidley in the finals a year ago. Aaron Brooks of Penn State. Miles Amin has been busy this offseason, gearing up for the Olympics or Michigan. Quick escape for Hidley, goes up 2-0.
Loud has to show himself, and when I say show himself, he has to at least have a half shot or commit to something, because right now he is blocking. He's blocking the underhook. He's putting his left hand on the inside of his left thigh just to block. And we saw in the first period, Trent Hidley was controlling it and got 2 stall calls.
Hidley sinks in low on the single, has the left leg ratcheted up, trying to capture that second. Look for a trip. Hop skipping away is Lout. Hidley with all types of time and position. Nicely done by Trent Hidley in a 4-0 lead.
He slowly worked up for that single. He didn't rush it. He climbed, what we say, climbed the ladder. He started around the ankle, worked up towards the knee. So he's at the ankle, working up towards the knee, and then he gets to the thigh, and then comes around to earn the takedown. Good fundamental wrestling right there.
Forward, step on the foot. Forward, forward, keep inching. Keep inching.
NC State hosted the RTC Cup earlier this year during the offseason, and Pat Popolizio really a point of emphasis to try to keep his wrestlers sharp. And interestingly enough, Hidley met up with Amin, and it was Hidley who got the better of Miles Amin in that RTC Cup. It was a great weekend stretch for Trent Hidley. He went 5-0. Since that time, as we documented last Friday night, he was a bit under the weather not that long ago, less than a month ago. He had an emergency appendectomy. That took him out of service for a couple of weeks, but they have ushered him back, and he's full force. We asked Pat Popolizio. He wrestled a guy in Greg Harvey last week who has a nonstop motor, and Hidley looked like he was in mid-season form as far as conditioning goes. And wrestler really ready to go deep into the NCAAs. Complete package.
You can see as a team that NC State has put an emphasis on their top work. Not just riding, but working. There's a difference between just riding and following, but working to get what's called a near fall or putting someone on their back. And you can see that Pat Popolizio has tried to emphasize that with his wrestlers.
How will these teams handle the peaking phase of a season? For anybody who follows the sport of wrestling, you know, it's critical, and this is where the skill of the coaching staffs come in to make sure your guys are peaking at the right time, which is traditionally you're into February and, of course, mid-March time, and when you're missing the Midlands and the Keene and the Southern Scuffle, and a lot of these guys from North Carolina wrestling in just their first or second match. How do you pace that peaking part?
That is something that they're all trying to figure out across the country. No one has an idea. For some people, it's pretty good to have a shorter season because some of the kids don't get worn out. But then others, they get stronger as the season comes on. So this is where the coaches earn their big paychecks by figuring out to get their guys to peak at the right time.
You know, and there's a lot of coaches to kind of ping ideas around when you look at Coleman Scott and Pat Popolizio and that rich Oklahoma State tradition. Both Popolizio and Scott wrestled for John Smith in Stillwater. and the high number of former Cowboy wrestlers who are now head coaches at the Division I ranks. And both these guys said, yeah, we reach out to John quite frequently. I think it was Coleman said, I talk to him every couple of weeks. Papalizio even said John has called him on a couple of occasions to bang around ideas. It's a tight frat among that former Cowboy group of wrestlers, and even though they're fierce competitors in opposite corners tonight, a lot of respect between these two head coaches and what they have done with these programs.
We saw something right there with oh boy. Looks like something happened here.
Like
So we're gonna
caught the
see
wrong
if-
end of a forearm there, Hidley.
So there wasn't necessarily an injury time. It was a referee say it's my time. And at that point with it's my time, he just said, look, no one was injured, just, you know, someone got banged up for a quick second.
No single here. Bring it down,
Way Loud having a tough time figuring out the defense of Trent Hidley. 4-1, Hidley with riding time as well.
You know, I'd like to see Clay, you know, just open up his offense just a little bit, you know. Right here it's been on the back a little bit, you know, kind of defending more than attacking. And I know that's what Coach Scott wants. He says, I want to see my guys attack.
You're okay, wrestle behind it.
Grab your own arm! Grab your own arm!
Center. Work center.
Hey, one good one.
Hidley circles back into the center. He knows he's in a good position. North Carolina State ready to tack on 3 additional points. They'll go up 9 with 2 weight classes remaining. Here's a late shot by Hidley. Switched it to a double, loud backpedaling, and out of bounds they go. And that should be it. The Hidley brothers taking care of business. North Carolina State, the nation's longest win streak, poised to add to that total. A new face was introduced to the ACC last week, a 6'4" frame in Isaac Trumbull, Rock, and he took care of business, knocking off 5th-ranked Nino Bonacorsi.
6'4", and he's a problem. And Nino Bonacorsi found out that he's not your typical freshman. He's making his name known throughout the country, and we're about to see it.
Isaac Trumbull, the true freshman, Springfield, Nebraska. And that huge win last week, the upset over Nino Bonacorsi. And we found out tonight that Bonacorsi was able to bounce back and knock off the 2nd-ranked wrestler in the country in J.I.L.O. of Virginia. So all of a sudden, Isaac Trumbull in a pretty good spot at 197. This was a weight class that we thought Nick Reenan would emerge. Reenan is back healthy, the veteran wrestler for Papalizio, but it's the freshman from the Midwest who was off to the strong start early in his career. 2-time state champion. He went a perfect 106-0 in his final 2 years, wrestling for Millard South. He made the commitment to wrestling. Now, growing up in Springfield, he had about a 30-35 minute commute to Millard South. Here he is with the Wolfpack, Max Shaw, the redshirt freshman, and this is a guy that Coleman Scott's going to lean on. He just loves his work ethic each and every day.
Not just that, he loves the fact that he's a leader. As a redshirt freshman, he's taken the initiative of leading the team. So leadership is not predicated on tenure. It's just on ability to take control of tough situations and to show what it is to be a leader on a tough wrestling team.
This is really an intriguing match. How will Trumbull perform on the encore after the big stage of a win against Bonacorsi? And then you have a wrestler like Shaw. He's tough. He's from Pittsburgh, a Pennsylvania native, Thomas Jefferson High School. Both of these wrestlers looking to prove themselves tonight. Shaw last year wrestled at 184 as a redshirt, went 15-5. He placed in 4 open tournaments. Trying to dodge the double unders. Watch out. We might see some action here. As the double overs, Shaw These two giants positioning.
That's 6'4". That's using your height to your advantage. Jacking up Shaw. And Shaw tried to do what's called an inside trip, but he was too tall.
Yeah, how many times last week did we see Bonacorsi get in on shot? I mean, he was just a constant torpedo, a whirlwind of activity in the hips last week that Trumbull presents to the opponents. And Bonacorsi could not figure it out the first time around. Now we'll see when they meet up again in the future. That size is a problem, and that's why Papalizio loves this young man.
That was a misdirection. He went for a shot to Trumbull's right leg and then went to a shot to the left leg. He didn't hit it, but it was there. That might be the recipe to go against someone 6'4". You can't go straight on. You have to do misdirections.
Shot by Shaw. Doesn't have a lot of time to finish. Shaw looking for two, and he gets it. Toward the tail end of the period, Max Shaw gets the late takedown on the Tar Heel, trying to keep that torch lit for North Carolina.
Good job. He kept working up. He got his head. One leg is good, but it's always better to get two legs. So he reached over, got the two legs, spread them, and he covered it. The official said, you have enough for me to say you have control and give the two takedown.
Good look at Max Shaw. Coleman Scott brought him in late in the recruiting process, and a lot of that was because Shaw was a multi-sport athlete for Thomas Jefferson, had a really good football career in high school. He wasn't quite big enough to go college football, so wrestling was where he chose to pursue, and his footwork, he's a team leader, as Rock talked about. He's just going to make huge strides over the next 4 years in Chapel Hill, and a good start. 2-0. Let's see what he can do in the riding position.
This is what I call a sneaky good match. People that watch wrestling say, we're not too familiar with these guys, but I think this is going to end up being a very good match once it's over.
You got to attack you now. Your reattacks are going to be there.
Trumbull looking, re-shot countered by Shaw, and Shaw puts him right back on his butt for two. Max Shaw with a 4-1 lead.
Did you hear that? The coaching staff for UNC said the re-attack is going to be there. Showing up, it was a re-attack that Max Shaw hit. That's great coaching.
Fingers, get out of the fingers.
So what I'm seeing is Max Shaw is getting in, and he's looking for the double and spreading Trumbull apart.
Work center. Center in.
So what's he doing differently from what we saw with Bonacorsi last Friday? Why has Shaw been able to get in twice when one of the premier takedown specialists could not get in once?
Great question. What I'm seeing is that when Max Shaw is getting in, he's immediately moving. And what happened was Isaac Trumbull was sticking Bonacorsi, meaning that as soon as Bonacorsi came in for that single, he would give him heavy hits. But what I'm seeing with Max Shaw is he's getting a single and he's moving. He's not standing still.
Trumbull, you could just see him trying to dig his left arm in there for a double under possibly. He'll go the over-under in this set. Trying to get that back trip, and he takes Shaw for two, and he takes him right to his back, and he's going to get the count. He might get more. Trumbull for the second straight week with an exclamation point for NC State.
6'4". When you lock up with someone 6'4", you've got to get your hips away. Max Shaw did not get his hips away. So here we go. We see it. He locks up, he trips it, uses length, and he cinched it tight. And it was tight. What another great performance by the redshirt freshman.
Chapel Hill, well, 3 Olympic medalists, part of the wrestling program for North Carolina. Kenny Monday running the RTC in Chapel Hill, the 2-time Olympic medalist, gold medal winner in the Seoul Games. Jameel Kelly, who actually started his coaching career with Papalizio at NC State. He was the Olympic silver medalist in '04, and then Coleman Scott the underdog in 2012. What a moment for him in the London Games at 60 kilos, capturing the bronze medal. Neil Kelly, Coleman Scott reuniting. Kelly coming over from the West Coast his first year in that corner with Scott. And again, you look at all three of those wrestlers and the ties to Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Sean, I'm interested when you see rematches, who gets better? You know, someone's going to get better. Either Gunning is going to turn the tables and come out with a win, or we're going to see that Deontay Wilson is going to improve upon last year's win. Someone's going to get better.
North Carolina State for the second straight week against a ranked opponent. Creating separation tonight. 25-10 lead over UNC. A duel last year that came down to this match. Rock talked about the rematch. It was Wilson who was able to get a late takedown in a winner-take-all match with Andrew Gunning. Wilson won 5-2. NC State won for the 7th straight time over UNC, 19-14. By the way, tonight's win for the Wolfpack will be a school record 8th straight win against the Tar Heels.
And I tell you what, I'm sure that burns up Coach Coleman Scott. He is competitive.
We just saw Isaac Trumbull, the freshman, get the fall for NC State. And you look at the upper weights for the Wolfpack with Trumbull and then Deontay Wilson. And you look at the benefits of these regional training centers that both of these universities utilize. I mean, you look at the Wolfpack RTC, and guys like Trumbull and Wilson are rolling around with Nick Gwizdowski and Timmy McCall. I mean, just huge benefits for these young guys coming through the ranks for the Wolfpack, and I'm sure that's a huge recruiting tool for Pat Papalizio.
Cleo, when you have the elite, oh, good shot by Gunning. Quick. Now can he peek out? That was a really quick shot by a heavyweight.
Looked like a 25-pounder shooting in there.
Hey, your turn, 45, D, come on, pick your pace up now.
Just like wrestling is very much of a physical sport, but you have to be smart. You said, okay, I can get in on Wilson. Can I get in again? What do I need to do better to finish it next time? Because the challenge that you have in college wrestling is not getting in on a shot, it's finishing. Guys are so good that it's hard to finish.
Hey, good 20 seconds. Finish strong here.
First period winding down between these two heavyweights, Gunning and Wilson. And to put in perspective, this current win streak by North Carolina State, the longest in the country. And what Pat Papalizio has been able to do, when he was named coach in the spring of 2012, this was a program that was coming off a tough performance at the NCAAs. I mean, really tough. They scored a half a point. And we asked Papalizio, you know, what about this job attracted you to Raleigh? He had success at Binghamton. And he said, you know, he viewed Raleigh almost like a sleeping giant. He saw the potential with the RTC. A key cog in that was the transfer of Gwizdowski. He brought the big Gwiz from Binghamton to Raleigh. Gwiz showed you can win at NC State. And then he had those talented recruiting classes, number 1, number 2, number 3 in the country. You start stringing those together, and all of a sudden, you have a program, and that's what they're enjoying right now with the Wolfpack Nation.
And it's also showing that wrestling in the southeast part of the United States has gotten better. You're getting guys from Alabama. You're getting guys from Georgia. Of course, Florida's been strong, but there aren't too many college wrestling programs that are in the southeast. So if you start to show that you can perform on a top level and you have a geographic upper hand, you start to get better recruits. It also helps when it's wintertime, it's not cold.
So true, and both those coaches brought that up in previous talks with them. A lot easier to go out and recruit on a 70-degree sunny day in Chapel Hill or Raleigh compared to the days we're having here in the Midwest. Snow, ice, cold. Second period, 1-0, Gunning with the lead. Final bout of the night, NC State, UNC. It's another exciting night in this conference. We heard that Virginia upset a ranked Pitt squad tonight. That came down to the heavyweight bout. So the parity in this conference, Duke has their firepower back with the Fine Silvers, and the job that Glenn Lanham does with that program, you just never know on any given night.
The official said that Deontay Wilson pushed, so therefore he got called for stalling for pushing Gunning out of bounds. You don't see that too often.
Comes right back in on the attack, and this time they will hit stalling on Gunning.
Pull Deontay, pull Deontay.
So when they go out of bounds, it's either a push or backing away. And the official said that all Deontay Wilson did was just push. He put his head right in his chest and kind of just bullied him out of bounds. Tough call.
Turn, 1 and 2.
Oh, I love that from Wilson. He gets away and then comes right in on that low shot. He's going to grab the leg, drag Gunning back in, try to cinch up the two, but Gunning able to spiral his way around, and we go back to the feet. Good action by these two athletic heavyweights.
That's coaching right there, because if you remember at 125, Jacob Camacho did the same thing. Instead of just getting an escape, he turned right into a shot. He got it, and then Deontay Wilson at heavyweight did the same thing. I'm not just going to one, I'm going to try and get two instead of one.
Look at the counter by Wilson. Gunning sprawled a little bit. Wilson said thank you very much for the two.
Very similar to last year's takedown that Wilson had over Gunning, where Gunning had a challenging shot and Wilson just was light on his feet. I tell you, for a heavyweight at 265 pounds, he stays on his toes and moves from side. Look at this, he's putting him on his back.
Had that half in, the half Nelson, had Gunning over for a moment. Now he's going to drag the big Tar Heel inch by inch back onto the white portion of the mat. Gives him a little bit more room to work. Left wrist on left wrist, stall underneath on Gunning. That'll give Wilson another point.
Wilson is getting stronger as this match goes on. And you can see he's moving. He's out to the side. He's moving hands. He's not staying stationary. He's lacing the ankle, getting on one side to the other side, staying on his toes. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, he is 265 pounds. He's got me about 120 pounds, and I can't move like that.
I don't know. From what I've seen in your chair tonight, I think you underestimate your moving ability. Deontay Wilson remains perfect. The heavyweight poised for his first ACC championship. And a Wolfpack program, Rock, that took care of business on the road in a duel we thought, quite honestly, could go either way. And NC State for the second straight week, last week Pitt, now they take care of business against a ranked opponent in UNC.
I'll tell you, these guys are good. And granted, we do call ACC matches, but I put them up against everybody and give them a tight match. Now, Iowa is ridiculous. And I'm not saying that Iowa would lose by any stretch of imagination, but NC State can compete with anyone. And that's all you want, compete.
Big night for the Wolfpack on the road. NC State remains perfect. Number 3 topples number 14 tonight in the big rivalry in North Carolina. That's the story tonight from Chapel Hill. For Rock Harrison, I'm Sean Kinney saying so long. Don't forget, coming up next on the ACC Network, it's Bold Men Not on Campus. For Rock Harrison, I'm Sean Kinney. Thanks for watching. So long from Chapel Hill.
I think we're losing juice or something.
Yeah, mine just needs to.
Yep, I'll call you back when we are done here. Alright, nice one. Yes, stay in there! Stay in there! Stay in there! Again! Use it to the single! No, single! I want to stay on, so I guess you can say my thoughts. Underhook, 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 underhook. Find your single leg. Find your single leg. I never feel like filming. I'm supposed to do this with the lab. One minute. Keep your hands on it. Keep your hands on it. Yeah, I'm around next week. I'm pretty sure I got a couple. So, and you're everywhere. So, all right, man. Have a good night. Find your single. 3, 2, 1. Keep taking ground. Yes. Pitch it, throw it. Again, you felt it. You gotta wrestle to where it's gonna be, not where it is. Wrestle to where it's gonna be. Finish this period on top. Stay on it. Stay on it. Cut. Stay on it. Stance. Short time. Pull his head. Pull his head. Go by. Go by. Yes, go. Get aggressive here. Get aggressive here. Physical on top. Punch it. Now punch it. Punch it. Punch it. Physical here. Hey, straighten your arm out. Straighten your arm out. Straighten your left arm out. Physical here, Kai. Yes. Physical. We'll go over for you. Keep turning his chest. Nice job. There it is. There it is. Push his head away. Sink your left arm. You got it. You got it. Settle, get under his left arm. Left hand under his arm. Yes, settle. Double break. Double break. He's up, Hunter. He's up. Nick, forward. Drive it forward, Nick. He's there. There we go. There you go. Come on, Nick.
Get you one this period, Hunter. Get you one this period.
Hey, focus on one. Focus on one. Come on, Nick. There you go. Come on. Come on, Nick. Hey, Edward, come on, guys. Nice, Nick. Let's go, feet. Go forward. Okay.
Run the arms, run the arms, run the arms.
Heavy, 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 heavy. Arch. Come on, Nick. Come on. Take it. Flip that. Rip it. Get it. Go.
One red.
Get mean with it. 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 Push the head. Push the head. Yeah. You got it. Arch. 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 Stay mean with it. Hey, right hand. Push your right hand. Push your right hand. Extend your right arm. Come on, Nick. Arch. Go again. Come on, Nick. Come on. Outside. There it is. Get it. Jump it. Jump it. Right in. Right through him. There. He's up. He's up. He's up. Come on, buddy. Go wrestle. Come on, Nick. Come on. Go wrestle. Smart. Smart. Come on, Nick. Nothing. Short time. Get it. Red, neutral. Come on, buddy. Come on. We gotta push the pace a little bit. Nice time. Over your head. Hey, keep elevated. Keep elevated. Keep elevated. Yes, keep elevated. There you go. Nice. Here. Stop. Still mid. Back up. You're all six. Still mid. Pinch that. Under it up. Under it up. Smart, smart. Keep going, keep going. Come on, here's Kick, Heavy, keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Lift his elbow. Lift the elbow. Yes, that's right. Keep moving. Keep your hips. Keep moving. Keep moving. Wrestle through it. You got it. Got it. Hey, hey, 23. Stance. Right now. Feel it, come on.
Go get one, D. Go get one, D. Touch and go. Touch the shoulders, go. Yes. Again.
Hey, it's either that or you gotta get one on your feet. Watch it for something. Emergency with something. Chop, move forward. Head on head, move forward. Ready to change on. Chop. Hips up. Motion. Hey, you felt it, no rules. Stay out to the side, stay with it. Chop, move forward. Stay with it. Stay on the hip. Chop, move forward. Drive, leg drive.
Collect it.
Get it.
Give him the butt.
Get it. Stay with it. Come on, Sawyer, finish it.
Let's go get one now.
Hey, take down Winston. You go first. Hey, take down Winston. Go get it.
Left single.
Hey, take down Winston right now. Banger. Yeah, first. You go first. Take down to the witness. You go first. Put it in your hands.
Motion picks up.
Throw up. the attack, Dylan. Use your hands. Use your hands. Yes, full. Come on, buddy. Come on, find it. Come on, stay on him. Stay in there. Stay in there.
Come on, Dylan, give me one, Dylan! Give me one, Dylan! Circle. Yes. Now you go. You attack, Owen. You attack. Let's get one. Let's pull the trigger. Pull the trigger, O. You can fake and go here, too. Inside control. Fake and go or fake and snap. Come on, big man. Clear that. You have to circle your feet a little bit more. Not this. Pull to a high C here. Buckle them. That's it. Your offense, Owen. Your offense. Go two together, Owen. Attack, Owen. Clear attack. Double wall. Put two together, Owen. 40 seconds. Clear out of this. Push that elbow down. He's just going to hang out here. That's it. Your offense, Owen. Your offense. 20. You still get one this period.
Oh, and I wanted an attack rate like last week. Oh, attack rate. Hey, open up the right. Red down. Red, stay set. Green. Put ready. Open them up. Don't let her stop. I want the attack rate to go up.
Come on, Owen.
Now the attack rate goes up. Oh, the attack rate goes up.
Go.
Yes.
Go.
Great offense.
It should be 2-2.
The attack rate goes up. Yes, again.
Yes, chase it down.
Yes.
Good score here. Big lift.
There's Russell here. Yes. Let's go. You gave him a takedown. You gave him some straight down. That's all right. You get it back. Your offense is too good. Forward.
Good job.
preface this with, firstly, I'm in Carmichael filming wrestling. Yeah. Like women's basketball. And second of all, I've never done, I haven't had anything going in this place yet, except for like my couch and shit. But I can look into it this weekend, you know what I mean? Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll figure it out and then, I'm gonna just, alright. Sure, but that sounds good, yeah. Alright. Okay.
Hustle for it. Go for singlet. Hustle for it. Hustle for it. Hustle for it. Hustle. 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 Stay down. Short time. Head on head. Head on head. 10. He stays down. Like that. Like that, Chris. Right on, Alex! Right on it! Good out, Joe. Keep moving. Knees under, good. Knees under. Push back, push back, push back, push back. Great job. Protect your foot. Turn in, turn in, turn in, turn in. Hey, don't waste time here. Don't waste time here. Push him out of bounds. It's ball. It's ball. Look at it. Look at it. Come on, man. Stay center, gentlemen. Stay center.